Hi, it's your friend Brain. Before we start today's episode of Deck the Hallmark, this When Calls the Heart episode, wanted to remind you that if you're watching this on Philo, thank you for doing so. Would you do us a favor and just tell everybody that you know that you're watching it on Philo? That'd be fantastic. Tell them how amazing Philo is and that you can watch Deck the Hallmark on it. They won't be disappointed. And if you are not watching us on Philo, if you're listening to the podcast right now, hello. Good day. Would you consider giving Philo a shot? Philo.tv/DTH. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Plus, you can watch this episode of Deck the Hallmark covering When Calls the Hearts right now. So head to Philo.tv/DTH. Without further ado, let's get to some When Calls the Heart.
Greetings, Earthlings. I'm Bran, and I love When Calls the Heart, Earthlings. Do it, Jax. Do it.
Greetings, Earthlings.
Welcome.
I am Jax, and I like When Calls the Heart.
Do it, Dan. Do it. Good. Join us. Join us.
Greetings,
There he is.
Earthlings. I am Dan, and I despise When Calls the Heart. And this is a Deck
the Hallmark podcast.
Boo, boo, wah.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
The toughest part about Brand starting is that he lays the groundwork down for whatever bit we have to follow for the intro, and that leads us to some of our best and worst intros.
Where would you put that one?
Oh,
best.
definitely somewhere near the bottom of
Yeah,
the list.
probably.
You
Yes.
think so?
Yeah.
You know I love aliens, though.
Yeah.
You know who
what
also...
it was? You had a really good alien voice, and then I felt like they got progressively worse as it went down.
What
the
are you
line.
saying, Jax? You can't.
You
give
just
a-
sounded like a nerd.
You can't say that When Calls the Heart is bad, but you sure didn't have a problem saying my alien voice was
That's
bad.
true.
No, Dan, my alien voice was bad too. I think we were
But
both
then
in a race to the
progressively
bottom.
worse.
You did say
I
progressively
did.
worse.
I did
I
say
never
that.
heard Jack say bad thing about anybody else but me.
You know who I
apparently.
love talking about aliens
No, it was
with?
bad. I didn't know.
No,
And
same as mine.
halfway through, I switched. Like
Yeah.
that's how bad the voice was. I wasn't prepared. It wasn't a
was.
dialect I could pull off.
Same. I felt the same.
And then halfway through, I went a little nasally-er.
Yeah.
And
Then I
it
do
was-
that.
It was like Urkel pocket protector. It was
Yeah.
not good.
You know who I love talking about aliens and other like paranormal stuff with?
Anybody but me.
Antonio Caon.
Oh, K.O.'n. What a guy.
He turned me
Love
onto a
that guy.
podcast that is like just so much
Dude,
fun.
he was so much fun at Bramble Festival.
Oh my god.
Dude, when he did that one thing, oh my gosh.
And our NBA podcast.
Oh wait,
is
are you
just-
talking about?
Yeah, you remember.
Oh my god.
And if you're not listening to our NBA
Yeah.
podcast, me and Antonio's, I don't know what you're doing. So, lots of fun.
Well, the Magic's doing really well, so
The
Thank
Magic's
you.
doing
Are
really
you?
well.
Are you going to be a Magic fan?
I already am.
Name me one anything.
Wait,
Player,
who was
coach.
won anything?
One player ever
I love
throughout-
the guy that always sets the picks.
That's the wow. That's there
Nate,
isn't
can you
one
name?
guy.
Can you name
Yeah.
one
Player
player
that has
ever
ever
in the
played for the
history of the Orlando Magic?
There was that one that was real famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was really famous,
There is one that is very, very famous.
and he didn't. So I'm getting confused between the players that played for the Lakers and the Bulls.
Okay.
Okay.
But one
This
player that is
played-
very famous
played for the Magic
started
and the
in Orlando
Lakers.
and then went to LA.
Yeah.
Is
And then went to Miami?
Technically, multiple
Wait,
players
wait.
have
And then
started in
Miami,
Orlando.
and then went to
confusing.
Phoenix, and then
it
went to
wasn't
Cleveland?
Magic Johnson that
No.
played for the Magic.
No. it
Can you
was
give me a clue?
He's
Big
really
Diesel.
Yeah, Diesel.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
And I just thought he was an actor for so long.
Well, Shazam. I mean, what can he do?
What are you gonna
What
do?
was
That's
it?
the Mandela
Kazam?
effect. Exactly, Mandela effect. One, sometimes we think it's Shazam, sometimes we think it's Kazam, sometimes we
But
think
And
Shaq
we think that
definitely
Sinbad was
was. But the Sinbad one definitely existed. I don't care what
feel
anyone
like
says.
it did, but it did not.
But the Shaq one definitely
Wait.
did.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it did not exist.
Now I'm still confused with the Mandela effect.
I think it's a lot. Like I think Sinbad went on the record and said it doesn't exist, but then I think someone found a copy. I don't know. I think the verdict's still out there.
It's like Bernstein and Bernstein Bears.
Yeah.
Sinbad was on an ABC original movie of the week that was like before Disney Channel movies, where he played like a genie or like a tiny something. He was in one of these movies that was like that, but he wasn't in a movie called Shazam or Kazam.
Is Shaq Kazam or Shaq's Shazam?
It's Kazam.
Shaq's Kazam is a minted classic.
It's a what?
Minted classic. There, I said it. Well, enough of this, guys.
I think it actually might be Shazam because I looked up.
Because Shaq starts with an S.
No, Shazam is the Zachary Levi.
That's right. So his is, or is it Kaboom? Is Shazam?
I don't know if it's Kazam or.
Do Shaq Genie.
How about Shaquille O'Neal?
I'm a Shaquille O'Neal genie, baby.
What song is that? It's Kazam.
Okay.
It is Kazam.
It's Kazam, everybody. We did it. When Calls the Heart.
Total A's in Kazam.
Well, that's why.
Kazam.
When Calls the Heart season 9, episode 5 is called.
You better stop what you're doing.
Okay.
Stop in the name of love.
Okay.
No?
No, it's Journey into the Light. So the opposite of stopping.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Okay. No, it's Journey into the Heart.
Race relations.
Journey into the Heart?
That's
or
because
Journey
they're
into-
racing, not because there's racial issues.
April
Not in
3rd.
Hope Valley, Dan.
April 3rd, 2022, and it went a little something like that.
Like that?
like
we just talked about just now?
It went a little something like this.
There we go.
Elizabeth, Little Jack, and Rosemary hang out outside, just having a good old time. And Nathan rides up on a horse, and you know who also is up on a horse? Allie!
I'm Allie.
Allie's back, and we're gonna have a good time. Hey ya, Allie's back. I'm Allie. We're all better for it. The hit and run boy gets put in a jail stagecoach, so we'll never hear from him again.
It was locked, Brand.
It was locked. What do you mean?
That's why we're never going to hear from him.
Oh, right. Nathan and Bill notice Lucas talking to Weeble again, and they're like, "What's going on there?" Allie meets May, and she's like, "Hey, Nathan, she's pretty," and he's like, I hadn't noticed." Rosemary talks to Elizabeth about how she feels like Lee is pulling away. Ever since we started working together, Lee is just gone a lot. He's leaving early in the morning, and he's like, "Oh, it's just work. It's not all. What's going on there?" Bill tells Frickum to ditch the bow tie if he wants people to respect him. I mean, I don't know, but whatever. I maybe respectfully disagree. I think a bow tie is charming. Lucas and Elizabeth are making out in the streets, and Robert interrupts him with mail call. "Read the room, Robert. Kick rocks." Lee says that he needs to talk to Joseph, but when Rosemary sees Joseph shortly after, he's like, "Oh, no, I haven't seen him." Lee is lying. Turns out that Lee went to Florence to try to get the name of Rosemary's informant. Nathan and Allie are talking about how he got hit by a car.
For what story? I forgot.
Just the one, big one.
Okay.
Nathan and Allie are talking about how he got hit by a car. She didn't know that yet. And then they're talking about Robert and how she's still kind of digging him. And she calls him Dad. And he's like, "Whoa, you call me Dad now?" And she's like, "If that's okay." And he's like, "It's more than okay." Those two. Landis and Elizabeth talk, and she apologizes for her outburst. Millie shows up and invites Landis to dinner. Nathan shaves, and May is like, "Oh, hot dang, this is my jam." Tell me,
keep it partying until the
AM. She's like, "Tell me anything about you, literally anything. I just want to look at your face." Rosemary finds a love poem, Lee. On Lee's desk, and she's worried that he's having an AFFAIR. We don't say the word on this show or in Hope Valley. We'll spell it out like ice cream. Maybe later.
Spell it up like ice cream. That is not a sentence. We'll spell it up like ice cream.
I'm still getting used to the language.
That's
Cooper.
A robot. You're coming down to my robot land. Welcome to robot land.
Population.
Bad accent.
Cooper isn't happy that Landis is coming for dinner, and is excited when he's late because there's rain and maybe he's not coming anymore. But then he shows up. Angela starts playing the piano. Landis comes over, just lights up, and he's like, I'll join you. Nathan and Lucas get a little chummy, and they end up agreeing to a race. Nathan on a horse.
Yeah, it's 2 Mai Tais with a hold on 1 second. No. You can mix that right in there. Just pour it right in there. One moment. I'll be right with you. Did you say horse?
Lucas on a motorcycle. It's time for the big race, and the town is loving it. Shortly after the race begins, the bike gives out, and Nathan is going to end up being the big winner. Fiona shares with Faith that she closed the oil deal. Henry arrives, and he's upset because apparently this allowed what's his name, Smith, Jerome, whatever.
Yes.
To buy out Lucas's portion of the company. And Gowan's like, we didn't talk about that. He's very upset about this. Bill sees Frickum shake hands with Weeble Wobble and gives him a lecture about snakes and stuff. Snakes
Get bit.
yeah. Lee tells Rosemary that he thinks they need to make more time to spend just the two of them after work, which is news to Rosemary because she thought that he was sick of her. And then he shows her some chairs that he made with his woodworking kit, and then he quotes the poetry that was on his desk. It's all about her, always has been, always will be. It's always been you. Lucas finally makes his way back to town with his broken bike, finds Elizabeth hanging out at the gas station. He says that Elizabeth is the reason why he stayed in Hope Valley, and hopes that, if they were to get married, I'd be commit forever, blah, 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 kiss her goodnight, whatever. She's like, maybe if we'd ever did get married too, also, same things here. They end up kissing, and we're all just like, yeah! And that, my friends, was When Calls the Heart, Season 9, Episode 5, Journey into the Light. We did it, everybody. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on
Deck the Hallmark.
Deck the Hallmark. Jack, say it.
Deck the Hallmark.
Deck the Hallmark.
Deck the Hallmark.
Deck the Hallmark.
Rig,
Yes, sir.
how's the Mai Tai?
Oh, they're both really, really good.
Yeah, you got two.
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
Great.
I had them put a little bow tie on the outside of the glass.
You heard me say how much I like.
My tie. You see what I did there?
Technically, though, they put it on there, so it was they.
I had them put it. I had them put it on.
Put
there.
it on them.
It's pretty
Did
straightforward.
you bring it?
man.
Did you bring the tie? Do you have to
I
bring?
made them fashion
But do you get
something
to
out
keep?
of some
Do you
things
get
they had
to?
in the bar.
Do you get to keep the tie?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
I'm more worried about the drink right now.
Okay. I'm just saying, like,
Yep.
it might not end up
Connections
being.
get a little fuzzy, Bram.
Bye, buddy. Let's talk about this episode of television, and let's start with a hot take. Jax, what do you think about Season 9, Episode 5? Almost halfway through the season.
Almost. This might surprise you, but I liked it, you guys.
What?
Oh my god.
Spicy.
Okay, we got Lucas walking around in Newsies hat. What's not to like about that? He looks adorable.
Santa Fe. Continue.
Oh, I wanted you to keep going. Just
No.
to get my old friend part.
Can I tell you something? This is the one time it ever happens on this program. I've not seen Newsies.
Are you kidding?
You're
You're
just
serious.
I've not
absolute.
seen it.
The musical or the movie?
Can you, for one time in your
What?
life, just seize the day and watch it?
Not seen it.
Come on, Dan, let's seize the day. Turn on Disney Plus and start to play. You'll have a good time. I will start to cry when we seize the day.
You guys aren't selling very well.
It's so good.
Selling the
I love a
Newsies.
musical. I love a musical. I just never seen it.
Newsies is fantastic. It's one of my favorite things of all time.
Remember at Bramble? That's so weird that you haven't seen it because we all dressed like the Newsies at Bramble.
We did do that.
Remember
That's
that?
right.
This is a weird retcon.
No, it's maybe a fever dream I
Yeah,
had, just
it
a
might have
wish.
been.
Yeah, 'cause I
that
don't
my
recall
heart
that at
made.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was wonderful. But
A dream is a wish. your
yes,
heart makes.
when
I
you're
don't know if you know
fast
that.
asleep.
Yeah.
So yes, we know that Lee is not being unfaithful physically or emotionally. But I think this plot line is really fun because I'm excited to see what surprise he's going to give to her. Dan is looking at me like he doesn't recognize anything about anything right now.
I thought I knew you.
It's like you're looking at me like this is even worse than you thought that I could think about something, which is disappointing because you know how I am. maybe this is a new low for me, but I thought it was delightful. I was having fun with it. Does it feel, yes, admittedly, this feels a little slower than season 8. Am I okay with that? A little calm, a little comfort? I sure am.
Well, yeah, it was fine. I don't know. It was fine. I'm starting to slide down the old slide again. And I don't
Welcome back. When you realize when they're called.
Now there are some good things in this episode. Nathan shaving. I forgot how darn attractive that fellow is. So that's when he turned around and took the old towel off his face. Boy howdy. And again, like the best part of the show right now is Nathan and May. Like
yes,
every time they're having a conversation, I am locked in. But you know, everything else in this episode, by and large, I could have done without. Well, the race was fun, I guess, until it wasn't. I wish the race would have actually like continued to be the race instead of him breaking down. But that's just if I was doing it. Dan?
You know, I really hate team building activities, you know, where it's like everybody's got to get across the lava on the one tire or trust fall. Like this is like with no purpose, like feasible purpose. This is starting to feel like a bad team building activity. Not this. You guys are wonderful.
Yeah. Okay, great.
The show itself is just a bunch of people who are all acting in their own scenes, and they're technically are all together, but they don't really. It's just it's a mess. No, there's no stakes. It doesn't matter. The best scenes are with Nathan and Meisu. I can't. I mean, and look, Elizabeth and Lucas. Oh, Freudian slip. Oh no, Elizabeth and Lucas have great chemistry, but like there's no momentum there now. It just isn't like it. You know, with Jack and Elizabeth, by the time they got married, he was basically off the show. Yeah, and so there wasn't. And with Lucas, he's not going anywhere, and so there's, you know, it's become like Lee and Rosemary. It's just like, what can we do with them now? Whereas Nathan and Meisu, there's some sparks there, but yeah, the rest of this is as bad. The rest of this is as bad as I've ever seen the show.
No.
The rest of it.
No.
If those four characters,
I won't allow it.
Elizabeth, Lucas, Nathan, Meisu aren't on screen, the rest of this is as bad. Gowan is doing nothing, and that's unfortunate because he's my favorite character on the show. Bill Avery, what's happening? New mayor, don't care. The paper with Lee and Rosemary is maybe my least favorite thing going on right now. At least the oil has the mystery of not making sense. You know what I mean? Whereas the Lee and Rosemary paper mill is just awful. Oh my gosh. Like time stands still. And those are both capable actors. It's tough out there, gang. It's tough sledding. I don't like it.
I feel like it feels like a little bit of a door slamming comedy with like the different desks and all that's happening. Or
I like the newspaper.
You gotta
I'm
really
confused.
Squint.
I'm confused as to why he's doing it, but I like the paper. Maybe
it's rich people that got
paper.
time on their hands.
Newsies.
Is all it is.
Yeah, I love Newsies.
Yeah.
actually, you know, I wouldn't argue with that. Rich people with time on their hands.
They've given the things that have made the money to other people to run. Dress shop, lumber company, and they're looking for things to do.
Where do I find meaning?
That's right.
Maybe a paper.
It reeks of capitalism in the 20s, even though it's 1919-ish.
I think it's 1920 now.
Is it 1920 now?
Sheila.
What year is it in season 9? 1919.
Thank you, Sheila.
So, I mean, it is the Harding administration. We do have, he starts in...
Wait, who is the president?
Warren G. Harding.
I knew that he was the president.
Yeah, of course you did.
You're just asking to clear it up for me.
Right.
Duh.
Thank you, Bran. Yeah. So I didn't have to.
Actually, no, 20. He's elected in 20.
Yeah, 19 was Frederick O'Hanahan.
So Wilson.
Woodrow Wilson. I do know
But
that
at this point, he's probably had his stroke, and the public doesn't know it yet. And so they don't know that he's, like, about to die because he's trying to get us to sign on the League of Nations. That's been History Corner with Dan.
You should have a history podcast.
I should.
When did O'Hanahan become the president?
O'Hanahan, that's a different story for a different day. But you're thinking of 18 18. I can't do it because I know who actually was president all these times, and it's just driving me nuts. I can't do it. I'm sorry, Brian.
Nerd. You're a nerd.
I
you know
am a
you know the
history nerd.
president. It's like a loser. Oh my
That's why you
God.
did the nerd voice instead of the
That's
alien
right.
voice, right,
That's
Brand?
right, because you know presidents.
I fully admit to be a history nerd.
Next thing you're going to tell me that you know about the economy.
I did teach economics for years and years.
Loser. I get all my economy from Dave Ramsey.
There you go. Yeah, that's why you're in the shape you're in.
I look great. Let's start with the feels, and by start I mean next one. Jax, any feels for you?
I had several feels.
Several.
When Landis comes over for dinner,
Sure.
and you find out that he used to be a music teacher and he plays piano with Angela, I thought that was very heartwarming and sweet. When Lucas tells Elizabeth, "You're the reason I stay. You are my adventure. You're my person," got me a little choked up. And when Lee gives Rosemary the chairs that are facing the opposite ways, and it shows that even though they're different, they can still be together. And I think that that's very important in a long-term relationship, that you learn how to be separate but grow together and figure out a way to make it all work. So yeah, I was feeling feels, and I like a bow tie. So we should have kept it on. Hickam, frickum, hickam.
Frickum, hickam. Yeah, I like the bow tie.
Yeah.
I love a good race. And I was excited. Who's going to win? A long 5 laps. It was a long race. Who's going to win, the horse or the motorcycle? And we didn't get to see it. And that bummed me out. But the idea.
Classic win calls
But
the
the
heart there.
idea of it
Tortoise
got
in the hair.
Yeah.
The idea got me real excited because we've talked about this, about how long a horse can run quickly. And so I was excited to see what they do with that. Dan?
Yeah, I will say this. The scene where Lee and Rosemary have the chairs facing opposite directions was too good for this program.
Yes.
It was not only was it a poignant scene between two people that have been married for a while, but it was a well-written scene. I never doubt the actors. And it's much better than the dumb paper stuff. Like, this scene really, really worked. That's the only scene I felt like that worked in the whole episode.
It might work better if they were like, we don't need meaning. We can just be a lady of leisure and a gentleman
That's right.
of...
Yes, they don't have to work together or everything else.
Yeah.
Lady of Leisure.
I did see
Gentleman,
Lady
lady.
of Leisure.
You guys, what lady of leisure? What is the gentleman
Gentleman
equivalent?
of golf.
Gentlemen of golf and ladies
gentlemen
of
of
leisure.
enjoyment.
Gentlemen of
Ooh,
enjoyment.
gentlemen of enjoyment. That's good. Let's take a quick break. We'll come right back here on Tech the Hallmark. I can't wait to watch Newsies later. It is just,
Me and you both, buddy.
dude, it's so
Seize
good.
the day. I don't know. Is that it?
Those are the words.
I did
Let's
the
go to the
Christian song. Seize the day. Seize whatever you can.
which is funny because Christian Bale is in
Is
the movie
in the movie
version of
Newsies. The movie came before the play?
No, the play came and then adapted to a movie, and then now the musical's been fairly certain. Is that
Which
accurate?
is the best
Actually, I don't
iteration?
know.
I really like the stage version.
The first stage version, the original. Or the new
I
one
like-
that's like on Disney.
I mean, I've seen it live, and what's on Disney is
the same thing.
the same thing. Like, the set is very cool.
I also like stage version because I like theater so much, but I wish that I could see Christian Bale,
Sure.
20 years ago do it on stage.
Don't we all?
Yeah. But he doesn't even like it, right? Like, he's kind of embarrassed by it. That's his whole thing.
But look at him.
Classic Christian Bale.
Oh, classic. I did see that one where he kills people.
Wow.
What's
American
that one
Psycho?
called? Yeah, that was good. I just brag about any random movie that I've seen.
Such a sick brag. Rolodex is so small. 4
I've
cards
seen
on the
a
wheel.
movie- Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Newsies? Yeah. Actually, that's a play. You've seen a bunch of those.
I've seen a bunch of
That's
plays.
right.
That's the problem. I don't
Yeah.
watch movies or TV.
I think that this is was originally a movie, and then it became a stage.
I knew the Newsies history better than you guys.
Wait, what?
Yes. Wait, what? Yes. Okay, so I'm curiouser about the fact that if in Hope Valley you did want to have medallions, would it be possible?
Yeah. With the amount of people that we are to believe are in Hope Valley, I don't think it would be. I think, I talked about this earlier, but we don't know how many people are in Hope Valley. And occasionally they talk about, like, I had to go all the way out to such and such. But when they count the votes for the mayoral election, Ned and Florence count them by hand twice in a morning.
Yes.
So these are two people that have counted every vote by hand and then recounted them, which means there can't be more than a few hundred people in Hope Valley. Like, it just doesn't make any sense that I think everybody knows pretty much everything.
Everybody, and I just not to get too serious or in the weeds here, but I think there's something about this. So if Lee's not having a dalliance and he is just overwhelmed by the amount of time they're spending together, it's okay to spend time separately from your partner, and it doesn't mean that your relationship is failing or that you even need to be upset about it. So I think it's okay if he did need a little space and he wasn't just building her a secret present.
You speak about relationships with a lot of like were your parents divorced?
Time out. We've not dove into this yet.
I haven't mentioned it on.
Not that there's been an event in your life that kind of helped shape the way that you view love and relationships.
Shattered. No. There's one of my favorite relationship gurus named Esther Perel, and she wrote a book called Mating in Captivity, and then she wrote a book called The State of Affairs. But in Mating in Captivity, she talks about how separation fuels desire. So it's okay if Lee's taking a walk. Maybe he's just trying to fuel desire.
Is it okay for him to lie about it? Because that's one of my waywoods. Because he just
I
straight
don't
up...
think Esther would...
Esther would not approve of
He
that.
straight up lies to her. That's something that I've been married 16 years now, and I try my best to never ever do that. And Lee just casually lies to her.
Have you ever lied to your wife about like a surprise?
I will use words that aren't a lie. I will be very vague if I need to, like I've got something. But like I won't ever be like, I got to go help this guy with something and then not go and do it.
Actually, to your point, that is weird because she can easily check up on that, which she does.
Yes.
Well, you're just better than everyone else, Dan. Again,
Dan's better than
your wife,
No, I don't.
I'm better than everyone else because I don't lie.
You're better
to my
than Lee.
wife?
You're better than Lee.
Wait a minute.
You just think you're so on your high horse.
Hi, what?
Yeah, if you could mix that, the salt on that rim isn't exactly how I want it to be. Blend it again. I'm not here for your amusement. Hold on 1 second. Did you say horse?
Thanks, Rick. To this point of how many people are in town, Rosemary and Lee are talking, and Rosemary says that ad sales are up. And I just don't know who is advertising in this paper because, like, what everybody knows everything. There's the cafe. What's the cafe advertising?
The cafe, the soda fountain, the bar.
Are they worried
Cottage
about people
shop.
forgetting that they exist? Like, who's advertising? I guess it could be outside towns, but are they?
Lack of understanding of how a newspaper needs to have a bigger town involved with it is absurd to me. Like, do they think we don't know the town is 1 street long? You know what I mean? Like, that newspaper, if you're going to have ads, has to be like a little bit more of a metropolis. And it just isn't. Uh-oh.
Sheila upset?
Sheila? Is it 1 street, Sheila? Is your town 1 street?
Essentially a main street with a few little side streets, but it's not
Is there a lot of ads in there?
about half the paper.
Wow. But they're also close enough. In modern day, you can do that because you're close enough to other places to go. But in Hope Valley, Shiminy Christmas.
I don't know. I take it back. Sheila got me.
Sheila convinced
I'm
you.
back.
Yeah.
Sell all the ads.
Sheila's
I'll
always
take
had
one out.
me.
I'll take one out. Dan?
Yeah, Lee lying is a big deal for me. Florence, all of a sudden, is
Always you with the lying.
as Florence is a bastion of integrity now on the phone lines. She used to just gossip nonstop, tell everybody's business, and now when Lee comes over to find something out, she's like, I'm putting my foot down because working the phones is serious, and I would never tell this information. Man, God bless her for having that change of heart. But the big one here is Lucas is gearing up, no pun intended, for this race with his motorcycle and Nathan's horse. And when we see him on the motorcycle, there is a huge leak, oil leak, that he doesn't fix. Elizabeth comes up and they walk off and the oil just leaks everywhere. And then he tries to race in it. Like, of course you're going to lose, dude. You never fixed your motorcycle that had the giant leak in it. Leak?
Leek. That was
Nailed
cute.
it.
I like that.
Leak. It's time for Hopes and Valleys. Jax, anything?
Yeah. I mean, I'm hopeful that you know what I'm gonna be. You know what? You know what, guys? I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Not that there's been any indication of this, but I'm hopeful that we'll get a little more action coming up. And my valley is that I fear that we won't.
Yeah, there we go.
There you have it.
Yes. If I had any hope left in this show, that would be my hope in Valley. But I don't, so it's just I know we won't, and I'm stuck in the Valley. Bran?
I am hopeful that Angela and Landis will go on tour together. Maybe write a little musical. Maybe they write music.
Angelandis?
Ooh, that's good. Maybe they'll write a musical. I don't know. I think there's a lot of possibility because they were just riffing with each other.
Thank you for giving me hope, Bran.
Thank you.
Wow.
When I needed it.
It's inspiring.
That's what I'm here for. Speaking of hope, did we get a What's Calling My Heart, Dan?
Of course we did. It's from Christina Meadows. You can email us hello@deckthehallmark.com. Tell us what's calling your heart.
Neat.
Hi, gentlemen and Jax. I see what she did there, gentlemen
Saw 'em
Jax. Yeah. I tried to think of something better that would tug at the heartstrings, but this is my honest answer right now. What's calling my heart is fountain cherry or cherry vanilla Coke.
Oh.
Dude, fountain drinks are the best, Christina. This is tugging at my heart. Those are calling to my heart the most, but I'll take it where I can get it. Point me to the nearest McDonald's for a plain Coke. Roll me a can out of a basement fridge. Heck,
Float me a
give
nap.
me a 2-liter and I will take care of business. I was never really a big fan of Coke except for post-drinking headaches. When I got pregnant, it was the only thing that eased my headaches after acetaminophen, massages, chiropractic adjustments, snacks, and several ounces of water. Now that my daughter is born, I can barely go a day without some kind of Coke, and that is Coca-Cola. Christina's not on the Coke. I know y'all are fans of the Diet Coke, but I only want that full sugar stuff. You probably aren't the people to ask, but if anyone knows how to wean myself off from this craving, please help. This is probably the first What's Calling My Heart asking for it to stop calling my heart, but I know that this is not a sustainable relationship. I may love Coke for now, but I know Coke is going to come back to bite me. I will keep an ear to the ground for any suggestions while I sit on the porch swing drinking my 32-ounce gas station cherry Coke with the good ice. Christina, best, Christina. It even says Christina Best for some reason. It says Christina Best, Christina. That's what it says.
All right, Christina.
Whatever you put on the prompter, he will read.
I have some advice for Christina Best Christina.
Okay.
Because I also love the full sugar Coke.
You do.
Fountain drinks are the best.
Yes.
I also love them out of a can. Love it, love it, love it. I still do it. Never deprive yourself. Don't go
'cause
cold turkey.
It's tough.
I would say give yourself 2 or 3 days a week that you can have one.
That's right.
The other 4, what I did was I went to those like low sugar jobbies. They're these like special organic sodas.
Low sugar jobbies.
Low sugar jobbies. That's the name.
Real silky
And
la-la
then
out there.
Man.
how do you remember that from
Months.
weeks ago?
I know.
Dan? Months at this
My
point.
mind's like a steel trap.
And then I don't know if she likes seltzer, but like really, if you need something that cuts,
Yeah.
go for the seltzer. Now maybe you've already tried all this, Christina, and I wish you well because I love it too.
Well, we have been hanging out with Jax now for months and months, and I
Yeah.
have only seen one occasion. But she does on occasion. She gets a Coke and she savors every sip of it, and then
Every
that's
sip.
it. Whereas it is about noon right now, and I think I've had about 100 ounces of Diet Coke, so I'm doing great.
Guys, listen to the podcast while you can. We don't.
We're all just knocking
Any
on
day.
dead's door
Any
here.
day. Any day is
day.
good. Dan's going to catch
Christina
up.
Best Christina.
And Aaron Beth reminds us that we can always try what Rig does and go cold turkey, which is
And I want to be clear. I'm biting a turkey.
Right.
I still smoke cigarettes.
great. Thank you, buddy. All right, we'll be back next time on the other one. Until then, maybe the first of which you a
Merry Christmas.